Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And we are so appreciative of the Department of Justice to launch this very, very important program and to understand that unless there is awareness, अगर community में awareness होगी तो ही महिला बच्चे जो victims है domestic violence के वो आगे आएंगे और ये law का they will be able to use this law. I want to speak from my experience on the ground. Majlis has been working for the past 30 years with victims of domestic violence and matrimonial disputes. And as you know that since 1983, we have a law on criminalization of domestic violence, where the IPC under 498A clearly says that cruelty to wives is a criminal offense. And I feel that 50% of our population are women. 50% of our population are women, and the statistics are that 1 in 3 women are facing domestic violence. So it is a huge, it was a pandemic even before the pandemic hit us, that every third woman in this country is facing domestic violence, and this is a crime in our country. However, if you notice that as opposed to any other crime, वो फिर theft हो या चोरी हो या जो भी other crimes है, they are treated as criminal offenses. But when it comes to domestic violence, the whole approach of the system is that we have to do counseling, we have to do samjhauta, and we have to send this woman back home. So I am deeply concerned that considering that if women are facing this acute domestic violence, and we know the issue cases of women of wife murder, women who have died in their homes, which is a huge problem in our country, because अगर महिला मर रही है अपने घर में और अपना घर सेफ नहीं है उनके लिए, तो what are we as stakeholders doing for her? So after the passing of the Domestic Violence Act, there was a huge hope that now women would be able to come into the system. Protection officers, service providers, medical officers, everyone will help her to come into the system, and she will be able to get relief when she enters the court, and court will give her justice. But what we are seeing, I just want to share a screen with you. What we are seeing on the ground is that women are unable to approach the courts, because हर एक जो स्टेक होल्डर है, फिर वो पुलिस हो, प्रोटेक्शन ऑफिसर हो, या अभी जो नए बने हुए वन स्टॉप हेल्प सेंटर्स है, वो सभी के एफर्ट्स यही होते हैं कि हम ये प्रॉब्लम को कैसे सेटलमेंट में नेगोशिएट करें और वो महिला को समझौता के होप से हम वहां पे वो प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करें. But this is creating a huge problem, because if cases don't come to court, जो भी settlement pass होती है, वो महिला अगर opposite party उसको honor नहीं करते हैं, so then वो कुछ नहीं कर सकती, वो implement नहीं कर सकती, वो enforce नहीं कर सकती, and then she is back to square one, where वो वापस approach करके बोलती है कि मुझे ये problem है. So we have to all focus on how do we ensure relief to victims of domestic violence. One of the very important stakeholders, sir, is the judiciary. Because if you ask the police, if you ask the one-stop help center, if you ask the NGOs, if you ask women, हर कोई यही बोलते हैं कि जब हम कोर्ट जाते हैं तो मैटर प्रोसीड नहीं होती है, लॉन्ग ड्यूरेशन वेट करना पड़ता है, ऑर्डर्स पास नहीं होते हैं, हमें वहां पे रिलीफ नहीं मिलती है. So I feel that there is a very, very important stakeholder, which is the court, which is responsible for giving justice in domestic violence cases, and they have to be accountable, क्योंकि एक्ट में ये लिखा है कि within 60 days she should get a final order. But let me tell you my experience, my personal experience in practicing in the Bombay courts is that no matter is even heard, the first hearing does not take place in 60 days. वो समन्स पहुंचती ही नहीं है अदर साइड को. We are getting dates in 1 month or 1.5 months. And procedurally वो इतने लेंदी हो जाते हैं जब सामने वाली पार्टी आती है, that even after 1 year and 2 years we have not got an interim order. And my question would be that what is happening to these women? उनका खर्चा पानी कैसे हो रहा है? वो कहाँ रह रहे हैं? उनके बच्चे के साथ क्या हो रहा है? If her husband has thrown her out of the house and it is taking 2 years to even hear the matter and pass an order, what is going to happen to these women and whose responsibility it is? So I feel like that there is a need for every stakeholder to understand that we have to make this law work for women. It is not enough to say that India में बहुत अच्छे laws है, and it's a fact हमारे पास बहुत अच्छे laws है. We have a very very good law on Domestic Violence Act. It is a relief oriented law. It's not a punishment oriented law. But yet women are not getting relief. We need to study what is happening in courts. Why is it taking so long for women to get justice, to get simple interim maintenance orders? Because today we are going out and we are training paralegal workers to tell women that you can be protected from domestic violence if you approach this law. But first we have to ensure the law is working, otherwise women will come and they will be dejected, they will be nirasha hoke chale jayenge fir se. So somewhere we have to, of course we have to create awareness, and we have to create awareness that women feel confident to come to the court through the protection officer, through the police in some manner. But we have to also ensure that when she comes, she gets justice, that she gets a maintenance order, that she gets a protection order. ना कि सिर्फ हम काउंसलिंग करके समझौता करके उसको अपने अपने घर में भेज दो, जो बिना बिल्कुल असुरक्षित जाती है. अगर वो काउंसलिंग और सेटलमेंट के साथ वापस जाती है तो वो असुरक्षित जाती है. If we get an order from the court and she goes back to her home, she is protected, she is safeguarded. कल को कुछ भी हो, if the order is violated, she can come back to court and enforce the order. So I encourage all stakeholders, and today we have the NCW on this panel, we have the Ministry of Women and Child on this panel. I request that we make an urgent effort, that we implement the Domestic Violence Act the way it was meant to. I will stop my presentation here, sir. I had a poster that I wanted to share, but I am not able to share my screen. One sec, I'll just try.
You can share it with us through email, and you can circulate it without participants.
Yes, I will share that poster. It's a poster which shows graphically how the Domestic Violence Act is supposed to work, what is the role of each stakeholder, and how women can get rights from the court by an order. And I just wanted to end by saying that Majlis has, with the help of the Maharashtra state government, we have brought out a domestic violence handbook, which has procedures, best practices, and reporting formats for each stakeholder. And this was signed by both the Chief Justice and the ministry, that they assured to implement these guidelines and work together to implement the Domestic Violence Act.